stuff. And y'all know these people. I don't know every farmer in Robertson County. I wish I did. A lot of farmers in Robertson County know me just by my last name, and I don't even know who they are. But my granddaddy knew them and whatnot. So if you know them, send us their names so we can call them and just talk to them, because we're not asking necessarily for them to be 100% everything that we think that they should be Democratic Party. But if we can convince them on one issue, that's all that matters. Okay. So if you had, that's basically my update is we're still trying to build, and I would love for any of you to join. Yes, Dana.
I'm a farmer's wife. We lease the farm out, because we can make money. But the way to hit the farmers in the rural communities is all the small little breakfast clubs that they all go to every morning.
Well, I thought about some of the ideas I've been thinking about is going and sitting at Latery's.
Yep.
Going and all of us just sitting, just have a conversation, going out with the planes that were not there. That's
neat.
That's out there.
Stay away from Terry's Market feed call. Because my husband quit going to Terry's Market because maybe you need to go. There's a Trumper that comes in and they just all leave. They just want to eat their breakfast and go. But that's, instead of having to go out into the community, that's where every farmer, they go eat.
Yeah, I mean, they're there
at 5 o'clock in the morning.
I was going to say, they're at 5 o'clock in the morning at breakfast.
Like his grandmother.
Yes. So please send me any names of any places, anything that y'all know, because like I said, we want to get these farmers in. We would love to have some farmers that would come to our podcast and actually talk about this stuff. Because, I mean, I don't naturally farm land, obviously. So they deal with other things that I don't. My granddaddy and my daddy, they work on hay equipment. It's a little bit different than being a farmer that having to figure out where they're going to sell their soybean. We got tariffs all over the place. So, but yeah. So please feel free to email Jared Ledrick, Stormy, Jarvis, or just do we have just a general email?
That comes to me.
Okay. So chair at Robertson County Democratic Party.org. Chairman, Robertson County Democratic Party.org. So, yes, Jarvis.
I just wanted to mention that it ain't just President Trump. We got to look at the governor of Tennessee as well. He had enough audacity to talk to President Trump on bringing the National Guard to Memphis, but didn't have the guts to talk to the president on helping our farmers across the state of Tennessee. That should show you what type of leader we have as a governor. And our farmers, we stand for y'all.
I think, did you have a question back there in the back? I couldn't hear you, sorry.
Feed stores and co-ops.
Feed store and co-op, yeah. Thomas Drugs was a good one too. Can we have a sheet of paper? Do you have an extra sheet of paper, Tamara, that we can have everyone write this down on as we leave?
Sure.
With ideas, if possible. If not, just email. That's fine.
Thank you, Jared. Do you have any reports from the Black Caucus? Nothing to report on? We're all good. So any unfinished business we need to address? Any new business anyone would like to bring up?
I don't have any new business, but I do have something I'd like to share.
Please.
I'm one of the few people, my wife and I are one of the few people in this world that are not on Facebook. We're not on any social media. So unfortunately, we don't get to hear my podcast. But occasionally I do peruse the internet. And when there are comments to be made, I enjoy reading the responses to those comments. Sometimes they make you mad. Sometimes they make you laugh. Sometimes it's like, what the hell is he talking about? But there was one last week. This, what I'm going to share with you, was in response of our Speaker of the House referring to Democrats as fascists, Nazis, and a few other words. And that the rally last week was Antifa. And one of the best T-shirts I saw, somebody had on a shirt that said "Ant," AUNT. Yeah, I love it. I love it. But a response to that person, and sometimes we have a difficult time like, what do we stand for? Why are we here? What are we saying to some of these people who say those things? This is, I copied it, so I thought it was very good. This was his response. Let this truth be seared into our national conscience with the heat of 1,000 suns. The 183,000 American soldiers who died destroying history's most brutal dictatorship did not bleed out on foreign beaches and battlefields so that millions of their descendants could cheer on a homegrown dictator systematically dismantling the very democracy they sacrificed everything to protect. We now witness the ultimate perversion of their legacy. A commander-in-chief who praises foreign strongmen, threatens to deploy the military against American citizens, and methodically shatters the constitutional order they swore to defend. All while his supporters celebrate this betrayal as patriotism. This is not the freedom they fought for. It is the exact tyranny they died to prevent. And our collective silence in the face of this desecration represents a moral failure so profound that it mocks every grave at Normandy and spits on every cross at Arlington. Yep. The greatest insult to their memory is not that a would-be dictator has risen, but that so many Americans now worship at his altar, proving that the enemy they truly fought was not just across the ocean, but waiting in the heart of the nation they saved.
Oh, sorry. My friend Mac here has some immigration stuff he was doing.
Please, yes, please hear. I'm not sure most people are aware. Robertson County and Sumner County, the last word I got, is the only two counties thus far that have signed 280 agreements with the federal government. And if you don't know what that is, essentially allows the sheriffs to empower their deputies as de facto immigration agents. If you couple that with boundaries, then you can see that it's a recipe for disaster. And I've seen it happen right on Highway 41 in Greenbrier. Outreach in that community is not going to get us a single extra vote, largely they can't vote. But it's the right thing to do. And if we have the infrastructure, especially the communications infrastructure, my Spanish is not what it was when I was young. So I really need somebody that has better Spanish than I do. I was a media director for Turf back in the day. We fought this program once, then Sheriff Hall, and we're successful. It was bloody. They see it as an electable. It's the issue that gets them elected every time. It's immigration. So we're going to need outreach in that community, not so much for vote, but to protect them. There are things they can do, common sense things they can do to protect themselves. And down the road, they'll remember and their kids will remember. And that's the votes may be a generation behind. We're going to need it. Thank you so much.
Hey, Tony. Hey, Tony. I just want to make another comment real quick. Sorry.
Who's coming from?
Sorry. So we've talked about this before. If you're willing to work the election, please see me at the end of the meeting, because we always need election workers, because the average age of the people that work our elections are above their 60s. And not that that's a big deal, but when they went, I know people do, but when you
60 is young.
yeah, 16 in. But whenever it's raining or snowing and who knows what could be happening on the day of the election and someone decides they don't want to show up, then we're short. It's very important to have extra people. So if you would like to work, you get paid. So, and it can be a somewhat rigorous day, as in boring. Depending on turnout, or you could be on your feet all day for 12 hours, depending on turnout. But I've been working it since I was 17 years old. And I enjoy it to this day. So you get to meet so many people. So if you would love to work the election, we're always looking for people to sign up, and I can get your name to Kathy Hansley to get you involved. So that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you.
So December 2nd would be the day that you would be working. Early voting is already, they have the same people that work for early voting all the time, but December 2nd, it would be 7 to 7 is the time, but you'd be there probably by 6. You might leave, depending on the line. You could be there till 8, or in Obama's time, I was there till 1 o'clock in the morning. So, but it's our civic duty.
Hey, Jared. Appreciate that.
Won't be long there.
It won't be that many by no means, but
Yes, Laura.
Do we have any information on how we get outfit signs?
Well, it's appropriate that you ask that question because Tamara and I have sent numerous emails and texts often on the day. We were planning to pick up signs and have them here, and they texted back mid-afternoon saying signs aren't ready, the literature isn't ready. They had a handful of T-shirts, but they didn't let me know that in time to pick them up. So it's going to be at least next week before we have signs. But hang in there, we're working on them. Yeah, I don't want to say too much, but yeah, it looks like they're getting a little bit of a slow start, but hopefully they'll get things together soon. Okay, Andrew.
Is anybody saw Talk of the Town today on Channel 5? Robertson County, Springfield is hosting a Day of the Dead celebration uptown on November the 1st.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a really neat thing to
It's amazing.
go.
Last year's was great.
And they said this year's is going to be bigger. Put your shirts on, walk around, have fun, play games, talk to people, dance, eat, and taste the chocolate.
Yeah, I second that. We went last year. It was fantastic. And Rosemary was putting this event on and said just the other day when we're talking with her, it's going to be bigger and better than last year. So, yeah. Thank you. First, November 1st. Yeah, right here on the square. Anything else that would fall under new business?
Tony, I had
Yes, Craig.
a couple things on my mind that I wanted to share. Can you hear me there? Yeah. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Tamara's gardener. And I'm also her hairdresser. Anyway, I've had some things on my mind, and I just wanted to share a couple things, and kind of wrote it down because I can't remember what it was. Anyway, last June, Tamara and I went to Washington, D.C. to participate in the veterans protest there. And I got to spend a little time hanging out with Adam Kinzinger. And he was on the January the 6th committee with Liz Cheney and Bernie Thompson. Really good guy. And while we were there, I stopped by to see 11 friends of mine whose names are on the wall, the Vietnam Memorial. And I tend to remember those guys as seasoned combat soldiers, but actually they were all kids, all between 18 and 21, except for the old man, Captain Jensen, who was 24. And we always have a little conversation when I'm there, but for me, it's always more of a reunion than a funeral. And I thought about my grandfather, Clarence Matthews, who fought in the trenches in France in 1918. And I thought about my dad and his younger brother, Tom, who were in the Pacific in 1944 and 45 in Saipan and Iwo Jima. And their younger brother, Jack, who saw combat with the 25th Infantry Division in Korea. And I thought about my son, Jesse, who served in Iraq in 2004. None of them were career military guys. And it's fair to say that every one of us hate war. They went because it was simply
what an American did. And then I thought about Donald Trump and everything that's going on in this country right now, and it was really hard not to be real pissed off. Whatever we signed up for, it sure as hell wasn't this. Then I thought again today about what's going on in America and what, if anything, a bunch of dedicated backwoods Democrats could possibly do to put things to possibly do about it. To put things in just a few words, we are in greater danger of losing the United States right now than at any time since the Civil War. Putting all the political talk aside, it's time for us to take a cold, hard look at the reality of what is happening and the reality of what we really are up against. It would take a couple of hours to go through the long list of Trump's criminal activities and all his violations of the Constitution. But in the midst of all this chaos and political turmoil and deep divisiveness, let's take a moment to consider just a few things that we do know for sure. We know Donald Trump and the people surrounding him are dead serious about replacing American democracy with an authoritarian dictatorship with him in charge. This is not wild speculation or some kind of political diatribe. This is real. We know he has clearly demonstrated an obsession for acquiring absolute power. And given the opportunity, he will destroy anything or anyone that gets in his way. There is no such thing as enough power for Donald Trump. We know by now that Trump and his band of criminals, they are by God criminals. Stephen Miller, Pam Bondi, Cash Till, and Christy Nolan, and their growing army of thugs called ICE. Well, all of them, they are completely ruthless. There is no law they won't break, no lie they won't tell, no person they will not destroy. We know Trump has virtually complete control of both houses of Congress right now, and he's hell-bent on attacking the judicial system from the Supreme Court on down. In addition to all of that, we know you have virtually unlimited funding to make it all happen. So what do Democrats have? Well, at the moment, not a hell of a lot. But one thing is clear. If Democrats don't take back the House in 2026, it's game over. There won't be any coming back. We know it, and Republicans know it too. With all that said, what can we do right here and right now in Robertson County? Tennessee, stop these sons of, stop these people. It's pretty clear that our only chance is to do all we can to get a Democratic majority in the House 26 elections and to gain every possible House seat we can in the meantime. What we can do is to get our own Democrat, Aftyn Behn, elected to Congress in the December 2nd special election. If you have never voted in your life, the time is now. If you were ever going to participate in a political campaign, if you were ever going to make phone calls, if you were ever going to do canvassing door to door, the time is now. If you were ever going to make a political donation, ever, the time is now. The time is now because right now may be the only time America has.
Thank you, Greg. Brought some tears from that there.
I had to get it off my chest, man.
I'm glad you did. So Tamara's already covered the announcements and upcoming dates, so I will skip over that part. As you know, we're having a potluck tonight. We had a lot of new people, so I want you to use this as a chance to get to know us, perhaps find ways you can help out, and get involved with the party. Just as Greg said, the time is now. And with that, this meeting is adjourned.